Hello friends, I am making this video in continuation to my last video in which I have discussed with you about the errors related to pen validation in V3. In the last video, I have discussed you about the errors related to pen which is related to date of birth. So the same case has come across to me again, but there is some difference in between the last one and this one. In the last one, the date of birth error was arising in one user, but that particular user has already created the another user so that she can be able to file the forms. But she was not able to get her emails or the notifications from the MCA, which she was getting from the on old user old user emails ID. So in that case, we have shuffled her email ID from one user ID to another user ID, and by making the third temporary user ID. But in particular this case, I came across with, some new information that one of my friend has got migrated from V2 to V3 successfully, and while doing the pen validation, after clicking on the business upgradation from register user to business user, she was getting an error while doing the pen validation that the date of birth is not matching as per the pen. So she came to me and I just asked her for a few questions whether she has created a new user ID or not. She just told me that she hasn't created any user ID. So I have gone through her user ID and I found it. Her user ID is perfect. It is registered user ID. And while converting into a business user ID, it was giving an error by doing a pen validation that the date of birth is wrong. So in that case, I confirmed her whether she has created another user ID or not. So she told me that she hasn't created any user ID. She just left it as it is, so that MC or someone else gives some solution. So I gave her some solution, which is the last one in the last video. That was a tricky one, but in this I did something. I took some shortcut. So let me show you what I did with this case. So in this case, the user ID 1 is the old user ID, and her date of birth is not as per the pen, and the name was mentioned is Manisha Jain, which was correct. Her user ID name is Keshav24. Other details not filled. She didn't fill just because her pen validation was not getting successful. So what we did, we asked for the ask her for a new user ID, or not new user ID, a separate email ID along with the email mobile number. So we did the same thing which we did in the last video. What we did, we changed the email ID and mobile number of old user with the user ID provided by her, which is drop.keshav@gmail.com. So her old user ID get free, and her email ID and mobile number got free. So we have the leverage that we can utilize that email ID and mobile number in another user ID. So we try to solve this. So we got to know another thing while doing this. See, in this video, you can see her name is perfect, Manisha Jain. It is registered user ID, and the email ID is registered is csmanishajain 1991@gmail.com. So we just gone through it, check that whether the pen validation is getting successful or not. So what we see while doing the pen validation, it says the date of birth is not as per the pen database. So here we got the solution to how to do it. So we changed her email ID with a new email ID which she provided to us. And we change the addresses with a random one. and we get the message that congratulations, you have successfully updated the profile. To log in, enter username drop.keshav@gmail.com. So you must have seen that the earlier the user ID was Manisha Jain, CS Manisha Jain 1991 at the gmail.com, which has changed, which has been replaced with the drop.keshav@gmail.com. So in this case, we try to make another user ID, a fresh user ID, registered user ID for her, so that we can come across, or we can create a new business user ID for her. So we came to know while doing the validation, while we did the all the process of making the new user ID, we came across this error. See this error. A new user account has already existed with the PAN provided. Please try to log in. And a user account already exists with the email ID provided. Please try to log in. So here we have to note it down that when we created the another user ID, or when we replace her username, which was her email ID, with the new user ID, which was Keshav's email ID. So her old user ID, which was her email ID, got freed. So in this case, there was no another user ID was created. So we got a leverage that that particularly that email ID has replaced with the new user ID. So we try to log in with the another we try to log in into V3 with her old username, which is her email, and her old password. So we got the access. We got the access of V3. See, we got the access. Manisha Jain, register user, individual, CS Manisha Jain 1991 @gmail.com, and her mobile number is got replaced with the old one. The address she mentioned in whatever she mentioned in V2, it automatically updated here, which was not updated in V3, in which she was getting an error. So it got automatically updated. So what we did here, we just converted this into business user ID, and when doing the PAN validation, it got success. See, the PAN validation successful, and her PAN number automatically get updated, and her date of birth is automatically updated in this new user ID. So we just updated it, and see, after successfully submission, we got this pop-up: congratulations, you have successfully updated the profile. To log in, enter username CS Manisha Jain 1991 @gmail.com. So here we have to see, earlier we were using this email ID for the login into her old user ID, which was as a registered user ID, and giving us an error that your PAN is PAN validation error, that the date of birth is not as per the PAN. But right now in this user ID, which is her which is her old email ID, there is no PAN validation error. Everything is perfect. Her date of birth is perfect. She got into the business user, and now she can be able to file the forms related to V3. So we try to log in into her account again with her email ID. And we got success. That's it. So I just want to tell you all those all the users that in this particular case, in which there is old user ID, and the person who has not created any user ID can take the advantage of this process. Otherwise, you have to follow the old process if you have created another user ID. So that is from my side. If you need any help, you can contact me. The numbers are given below. And if you have any problem, you can write me a mail. Thank you.